Thank you so much for your time today. Like I said, I'm going to keep a wee eye on the waiting room as well, just as we go along. So bear with if you see me jumping about just to get started, because I do appreciate it is lunchtime. People have, need to get a cup of tea, need to get a wee sandwich. But we'll get started. Let me share this. And as I mentioned as well, obviously I'm recording this. It will go on to YouTube. Hello to everybody who wasn't able to make it today. Um, this recording is for you as well. So if I pop that into presentation mode, can I get a wee thumbs up from Dorota or Monica, just that you can see that okay? Or anybody? Awesome. Right. Great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your time today and appreciate those who have sent apologies for the day. So, why nobody's noticing you and how to change that in 3 steps. It really is that easy. And again, this presentation is geared around I don't know where to start when it comes to raising my profile. That is something that I hear quite a lot of the time. Sorry, I'm just Zoom is changing stuff around, so I can't see all my notes. Anyway, bear with. Hello, welcome. If you're coming in from the waiting room there, do please keep your cameras off if you don't want to appear at my YouTube channel. So, I don't know where to start when it comes to raising my profile. I hear that an awful lot. And again, that's okay to feel like that. You're obviously here because you want to become more visible, and that's what I can show you how to do. Like you are an expert in what you do. I'm an expert in PR, so it's my job to help you, take that first step in getting more confident in becoming more visible. In the same way that, if I need an accountant, I have a brilliant accountant to help me. If I need help with social media, there's social media experts out there who can take that on for you. So you're the expert in what you do, and it is absolutely okay to not know where to start. So just for the next hour maximum, if you need to drop off, that's absolutely fine. But 1 hour maximum, we'll do a Q&A right at the end. I will give you 3 actionable steps that you can take right now, and I'm going to introduce you into how you can work with me through my press community. So you're in the right place. If you don't know where to start, if sorry, someone in the waiting room. If you don't know where to start, maybe you're worried about what other people will think. I hear that a lot as well. It's like, oh no, what's someone going to think if I put this post on LinkedIn or if I say this? Again, we can cover all of that. Maybe you see other businesses out there and think, well, that should be me. I still do that, to be honest. You see people, oh, I should have pitched to that, so it's a very, very common feeling. And maybe, if you want a tried and tested strategy, again, you're in the right place for that. I just love building communication plans and strategies, those plans on a page that will really help somebody raise their profile. You're also in the right place if you feel invisible within your industry. You know you're good at what you do, but nobody is really seeming to notice. And as small business owners, business leaders, even within larger businesses, we're all trying to juggle so many things. And like I said, it is okay to ask for that expert support to come in and help. And again, if you want a simple strategic way to get you or your product or your business or your service noticed, I can certainly take you through those steps. And again, this comes from conversations based on hundreds of people over the years. And, these are quite common reasons why they're failing to raise their profile. If you don't know where to start, there's no action at all. Or maybe they've been jumping ahead to doing stuff like sending out a press release or trying to pitch to things. But it's quite a scattergun approach. So it's not leading to those tangible outcomes, that consistent outcome that they want to see. Maybe their comms is not aligned to their business planning, and that's really, really important. So otherwise, what's the point of comms? Visibility raising, PR communication, it's got to enhance what it is that you're trying to achieve as a business. Again, that lack of a structured approach has been really evident. So again, that just impacts on your profile raising. And again, they've started then to miss opportunities to get visible because they just, they don't know what to do. They feel a bit stuck. And you start to feel, but they've started to feel like then that they've failed and they haven't. It's not about what you're doing. It's just, for me, it's this lack of a tried and tested process to bring everything together. So it's easily solved. And just by way of an introduction, my name is Sarah McCracken. I know some of the people on the call. It's brilliant to see you. Um, I'm a PR expert, trainer, and strategist. I've been doing PR for about 25 years now, and I absolutely love it. I have worked with a whole different range of organisations, charities, commercial companies, voluntary sector. I've led campaigns, I've had front page media coverage for my clients, and I absolutely believe it is never too early for you to do PR for your business. So I have set up the PR Club. It offers training, consultancy, and my press program that I'm going to talk to you about later. And again, I just want to give you all my skills and knowledge so that you can really get ahead and get your profile raised, get visible. Again, it all impacts on your sales, impacts on trust and credibility, and I want to really help you succeed. And I just love to see that happening. So if you get any questions about my experience or background, drop them in the chat and we'll come back to that later. But a bit about you, I would just love to know if you could drop in the chat, what is it you do? And is there something in particular that you want to know about in terms of how to raise your profile? And I'll try and address it either as we go along or we can talk about it in the chat at the end. And I would encourage you as well, drop your LinkedIn links in the chat. Tell me something about your business and then we can start to support each other. That's really important as well. So whether you're a business owner or whether you're working in a business, let's start to connect and take that forward from there. But yeah, if you're able to share or DM me behind the scenes if that's more preferable, is there something in particular that you want to know about in terms of raising your profile? Just let me know. I'm on the tea here today, by the way, as usual. Give you a wee second to do that. And just while you're typing there, the three things that I am going to cover today, things like what is stopping you from becoming more visible, what's missing when it comes to your visibility, and again, those three actions that you can take right now to become more visible. Genuinely, it is really straightforward when you know how. And again, I'm just a big fan of laying it all out, getting straight to the point, and really demystifying what a PR approach actually is. It's not rocket science. It's just understanding where to begin and making sure that you're focused on where you want to get to. And again, these webinars are just a great way for me to share my skills and experience with you. And again, that's where the Q&A at the end comes in as well. So number one is, what is stopping you from becoming more visible? I'm sure you've thought about this. If you've got a notebook beside you, feel free to jot some things down. I'm not necessarily going to ask you to share them at this point, but a really common one is that I just don't know where to start. So then you're just stuck at square one. Or you've too many ideas but no structure. I have an awful lot of ideas. Many of the other business leaders that I work with, they also have a lot of ideas, but not knowing where to start. That's a real challenge for a lot of my clients. Or maybe you feel like you're making it up as you go along. You're that real scattergun approach, not leading to any real results. Does that feel familiar? And another really common challenge is that the actual step of taking action can feel really overwhelming. You're trying to do all the things, you've got your social media going on, some PR, some networking, all the things that you're doing as a business leader, and you get that limited traction. So I really, really understand that as well. Just before we start the recording, as a sole business owner, I've got to set up the tech for this. I've got to, send out the invitations. I've got to set up all the Zooms, and it's a lot to be doing. And then on top of that, you want to do some PR as well. So again, I understand that overwhelming feeling. Maybe that's how you're feeling as well. This is another really common thing that I found as well. Oh, I don't want to look like I'm showing off. Oh, I don't want to toot my own horn, or, I don't like to boast. It's that real fear of judgment. I mean, who does she think she is to be saying she's good at something? It's a real genuine fear that we all have. But, we need to show off. We need to tell people how good we are, how good our product, business, or service is. Otherwise, how are we going to get any clients? Another common one, speaking on socials or say to a journalist, it makes me feel really sick. I see that a lot. Maybe you have been told you need to do more videos, for example, on your Instagram, and just the absolute thought of that is just like, oh my goodness, you don't like how you sound or look. You don't know any journalists. Well, nobody likes how they sound or look. And again, it's not about how you're feeling about it, it's how your customers will start to perceive you. So that is something to think about as well. And in terms of not knowing any journalists, well, again, that's why I'm here to help you find the journalists. They're on social media. You can get their contact details from the publications or the podcasts that they're involved with. They're out and about. They're really, really nice, most of them. You want to start to build a relationship with them. And again, once you have that relationship, you'll be able to, get in touch with them, start their conversations with them, start to get the media coverage you deserve. I have no idea at the minute how to put the hand down on my screen, so bear with. Zoom is now automatically putting hands up, and I wave my hands about an awful lot. So that's where we're at with that. Um, Item number six. I don't have time for all of this. Again, we've talked about this. The juggle is real. You're doing all the different things. I mean, I have 27 things on my to-do list, not counting all the family stuff that we need to be doing as well. So again, I get that. And that is why I want to help people succeed when it comes to visibility. I have the tools for you. So the outcome of all these challenges, all these fears, all these thoughts that we have is that there's no action taken at all. And that results in no profile or visibility. No one is going to know about you, and you're going to lose sales to your customers. Or if you're working for an organization, maybe the organization needs more clients, or maybe it needs more publicity. Maybe you're not going to get any service users in. Again, it's all about, losing that ground to other organizations who are in your sphere. So if you hang out with me, you're going to learn how to get clarity and where to put your efforts. My step-by-step guidance is there to be used. How to speak with clarity and confidence. I was at a networking event yesterday, actually, and we all had to get up. You know what it's like. You get up, give me your 30 seconds and say who you are and what you do. And people are really worried about that. They're not used to doing it. And, a number of the delegates got up and said, this is out of my comfort zone. And I get that, but I can help you with that confidence and clarity. And again, it's about using PR with a purpose. So in terms of hanging out, I run these webinars usually once a month. I'm on LinkedIn and Instagram as well. And I do have a range of free downloads for you as well, if those are going to be helpful. So yeah, come and hang out in any medium that suits you. I also want to give you the exact formula to pitch to the press to increase visibility. It's about learning what the press actually wants. And I do a lot of training on this. And again, that's linked to building your credibility. So the more media coverage you can get, maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a news article, maybe it's a feature in a magazine, whatever is appropriate for your business, that starts to build your credibility because people are right there and go, oh gosh, I didn't know about them, or that service looks really good, or that product. Oh, and then that leads maybe to a Google search, or when people are searching for your type of product, business, or service, there's a potential for your media article then to come up. So again, it's about learning what the media actually needs and how to pitch that to them. Again, I can help you with what to post on social media to raise your profile without feeling sick. Look, we've all been there. I get it. Again, it's that tried and tested approach. There's no dancing required unless you really want to do TikToks. That's absolutely fine. But again, you don't need to be doing all that. It's really overwhelming. And it's about narrowing down where your audience is and what social channels they're actually on and focusing on that. You don't need to be across them all. And I'm really keen to help you build your confidence without burning out. Again, giving you those tried and tested tools, taking that first step, then the next, then the next. I've spent a lot of my time behind spokespeople, senior leaders, chief executives, pushing them in front of the cameras, quite literally sometimes, but also having worked with them in the background to brief them, to give them the clarity that they need, to make sure they're on message, to tell them, ask them what the curveball questions could be so they can practice beforehand. And again, they take that first step out into the media, then the next one beyond that. So again, it all comes down to your confidence without getting the overwhelm and just taking those next steps. I'm also really keen that you make PR work on your terms. And this is where press comes in. And this is where I give a structured approach to, reduce the overwhelm and get results. And you're probably sat there thinking, but, oh, I'm not ready. PR is not for me. I'm too early in my business. My business is too small. But you're absolutely not too early. It's about your reputation and your credibility. So this is my colleague Ellen. Ellen is a member of my press program. She had started a podcast and needed a really clear route for promotion. So her and I worked together over a couple of hours, like no more than that, and we went through a step-by-step approach and got a plan for the promotion of her podcast, written and instigated. It's called Policy 360. I would really encourage you to go and listen to it. It is really, really well done, and you'll find her on LinkedIn as well. But my point of this, she was at really early stages, but you're more ready than you think to get out there to start promoting what it is that you do through a PR approach and just really raising your visibility. Or maybe you're thinking, I've tried PR before and it didn't work. Well, that's something I would then challenge you. What do you mean by I tried PR? Did you just send out a press release and nothing happened? In which case, we need to look at what you sent out. Was it newsworthy to start with? What did it go to the right journalist? Did it go to the right outlets? Or, we need to sit down and start to unpick that a bit as well. But if you start with a plan and start to build out from there, your PR will start to work. Your credibility, your visibility will start to come. And again, Naomi is a brilliant small business owner. She's a virtual assistant. She's a team working for her. And she had a business win to celebrate and wanted to get her story out into the press. So again, I gave her access to one of my trainings. It's a step-by-step approach. And she got the press coverage she deserved. She's brilliant. I just love seeing what she's doing at the minute. And again, it's not about you. It's the method you've been learning, using up till now. If it's that scattergun approach, it's not really going to stick. But again, once you get the basics in place, I promise you it's dead easy. So part two then is what's missing when it comes to your visibility. And you're going to hear this from me a lot about a plan. If there's no plan in place and you don't know where to start, if you're not very clear on what you're saying, it all leads to lacking that confidence to take action. So no plan in place. Fail to plan, plan to fail. I love a plan. Um, Nobody will know about you if you don't have that plan of where you're trying to get to. And your competitors will be better known than you. And I am not talking war and peace here. I'm talking about a plan on a page or maybe 2 pages. But starting with, what are the objectives you want to achieve? Who's your target audience? We'll come on to messaging in a wee minute. Understanding where to find your audience and how does that link back to your business in terms of objectives. And again, once we know where your audience are, we can go out and engage with them. And by audience, I mean your clients, your customers, could be funders, could be anything. If you're not clear on what you're saying, nobody's going to hear about you. And when I say hear, I mean think about how you scroll on Instagram. Think about all those emails that are coming in to your inbox at the minute. I sign up for everything, and then 3 days later, I'm overwhelmed by emails. So think of that noise. How do you cut through that noise? How do people hear you? Either actually hear you through the likes of this, through speaking on stages, through events, through networking, or hear you through what they're reading about your business online. If it's really cluttered and confused, it's not going to be clear what you do. And again, your customers won't know about you or your clients or whoever you're trying to serve. And again, I see this so much. It's just this complete lack of confidence to take action. Again, you're worried. What will people say? Write down the names of these people, please. Send them to me. I will deal with them. I guarantee you it's not even specific people. It's just this real concern that we have that somebody's going to say something negative. I'm not good enough. Oh, you are absolutely good enough. 100%. You will have a brilliant story to tell. You will have a brilliant product, business, or service. Again, I can help give you that confidence to take action. You sometimes just need to take that deep breath and just do it. Because if not you, then who? Nobody else, unless you've got a very, very large marketing and advertising and PR budget, is going to do it for you. So again, it's about doing it yourself. It's just having that confidence to take that step, then that next step. Maybe it's as simple as putting up a very short social media post, see what the reaction is, and build out from there. And I'm telling you all of this because I really want to help you succeed. Um, Nothing pleases me more than a client coming and saying, well, I did this and I got this coverage, or I did this and my podcast got launched. I had a lovely lady. I did a talk in a business group one time, and it was exactly about getting confident to raise your visibility. And as a result of that, she launched a podcast because it'd been in her head for so long. But after we had a conversation about it, after I gave her some step-by-step tools through the presentation I did, she went out and did it, and it's just brilliant. I love it. So, have you ever thought, what if I mess up? I have. That's why my hand's still up. What if no one wants to hear what I have to say? And look, I struggle with some of these as well. I'm not going to lie. We all do. What if people laugh at me? Again, write down their names, send them to me. I'll sort them. What if people think I'm showing off? Again, who are these people? If you don't start to articulate what it is you do, nobody's going to hear about you. And again, it's all these what ifs. So I'm quite sure you can make a list of the what ifs, and you can add to these. I'm quite sure, but they get into your head. They can be really overwhelming. Again, sap away at your confidence, and again, just can be a real challenge to overcome to take that step forward to raise your profile. But what if we work together to get a plan in place? What if you got clear on what you were saying? What if you then took some action? So what if you succeeded? What if somebody needed to hear what you have to say? What if you took action to raise your profile? And what if you inspired someone to take action? So these are positive what ifs. So if you have a wee second later on today, write down all your what ifs, your fears. What if that person says something? What if I launch a product and it fails? But what if you launched a product and 10 people need it and buy it? There's a good starting point. I launched my membership. What if nobody wanted to buy it? I now have members in my membership. So again, I absolutely get where these what ifs are coming from, but I know we can turn them around and turn them into something much more tangible and positive. So these aren't the three actions for today. Those are coming later, but this is another thing that I would really encourage you to sit down and do as well. Write out your what ifs, turn them around into something positive, get out there and do it. Just by way of other clients I have worked with. So Jenny was absolutely brilliant. Again, needed that advice when it came to developing her LinkedIn profile, her own personal profile, for future job roles. Again, I worked with her business as well, the Smartens, to again give them the confidence to engage with the media. These are all on my LinkedIn, by the way. This is another lady I worked with, again, helped coached her through a bit of a crisis of confidence connected with PR. And again, this was from Nuala, Diversity Mark. Again, it's all about the planning. I worked with her to plan out their anniversary event. Went really, really well. But again, she came up with the ideas and I coalesced it all into a plan. So please, if you want any more insights like this, I'd be happy to share them. So bring it all together. Three steps that you can take right now to raise your profile. So we need to solve, I don't know where to start, or I'm making it up as we go along, or taking action feels overwhelming, or I don't want to show off, or I feel really sick at the thought of doing something, and I don't have time for all of this. We need to solve all of that. So, three things you can do. Number one, plan your visibility goal. Remember, it's all about the planning, and most people skip straight to the doing without taking that time to understand what success might look like for them. So, I would really encourage you to look at your business plan. It's plan on the page, or it could still be in your head. That's absolutely fine. What do you as a business want to achieve? So, whether you're an organization delivering a service or something with a physical product, what are you trying to achieve? Where are you trying to get to? And what can communications do? How would raising your visibility help achieve those business outcomes? Because it's quite specific. A visibility approach can't solve your supply chain issues necessarily, but again, by raising your profile, you can be able to attract more clients into your ecosystem. So again, set one clear goal for visibility, align it to your business goals, and it could be as simple as write a press release and pitch it to your local media ahead of your business launch. So maybe you've won an award and you want to do some media around that. Maybe you have a new product pending. I was talking to a company last week. They have a new product coming out in October. And again, they want to understand how can they, get the visibility of this product raised, from the launch and beyond. So it could be as simple as write a press release and pitch it to the local media. But you need to look at what your business goals are. How can raising your visibility help with that? And then come up with the tangible step that you can take for it. And just do it. Do you know, if you write a press release, say you do one this afternoon, send it over to me. I'll happily have a wee look at it for you. Absolutely not a problem. But again, do it. It's about taking that step forward and then the next step, then the next step. Engaging with journalists. Obviously, we talked earlier about, oh, I don't know any journalists, but first and foremost, I would encourage you to find out what your audience is reading or listening to. So maybe you have a product that what was in the chat in terms of what you do. Maybe you have a product of, I don't know, dog food of two dogs. I'm always doing the dog food example, but who's your ideal customer? Potentially couples aged between this age and this age, and they might have family. So you're going to have your audience mapped out. But if you need to then, oh, well, maybe they're on Instagram. Maybe they are reading the local newspaper and this type of podcast. So you've understood your audience, you then know what they're reading and listening to, and then you need to research relevant journalists in those publications. So again, if you have a dog food brand, you're unlikely to be pitching to the sustainability correspondent at the local newspaper. You're going to want to maybe go to Dogs Today magazine or look at the local newspapers to showcase that you're a local business doing stuff like that. So again, who's your audience? What are they listening or reading? What social channels are they on? Research relevant journalists in those publications and then connect and engage with them. And then you can send them a relevant pitch on a subject they will be interested in. And again, to find journalists, they're on LinkedIn, they're on Twitter if you're still on Twitter, they're on Blue Sky. Get copies of the magazines. Use the library app to get access to magazines, access to newspapers, search online, and you will then start to find their contact details and just connect up with them. If you're on LinkedIn, connect with them, send a wee DM going, hello, I'm Sarah McCracken. Great to be connected with you. You're not diving straight in for a pitch, but I have used this approach really successfully when pitching to Women's Weekly magazine, for example. It was a simple, hello, I'm Sarah. I'm working for Great Big Green Week. Could I have your email address, please, to send you some further information? And we did, and we got the coverage. So you could do all that. Yes, and just do it. So maybe an action for tomorrow is to sit and start to maybe buy some magazines or newspapers, read them over a cup of tea and a wee bun. It's called work. And again, go and find those journalist contact details. Telling your story. I just love hearing people's stories. Why have they started their business? What's in it for them? Who have they helped? And again, everybody has a story. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday. He might start up a storage company, and he's like, "Well, how would I do PR on that?" Well, storage, people's memories are in his storage facilities. Why is this article in storage? Why is the family not disposed of it? There's so many stories connected with that I could then start to see going into a feature or a news article or a blog or something like that. So think about what inspires you. Who have you helped? Your story is what makes you extraordinary, and your audience is waiting to hear it. So why did you start your business? Why did you start to work for this particular company? Who are your clients? Have you helped save lives? Talking to one of my press members. She is a first aider, does first aid training, and she's a testimonial from a customer who said, because of your training, I saved someone's life. Now, it doesn't get more powerful than that. So who have you helped, and can you start to tell that story as well? Yeah, I just love hearing people's stories. And again, start to jot down some thoughts and ideas. Start to think about, what story could you tell? And then think back to your journalists. How could you then pitch that to them? So again, I have been using this type of approach for years, and I know it works. It's quite a simple approach, but I worked with the Climate Coalition over the summer for Great Big Green Week, and our objective was to make it mainstream. So we wanted to get coverage in sort of regular newspapers and magazines, not sort of climate-y related coverage, if that makes sense. So again, I went out, I did exactly what I've suggested to you. I identified journalists who would be interested in this. I engaged with them, I pitched to them, I got the forward features list, we sat down and discussed, what stories might work for them. And then I told the story of those taking part. So there was 1.2 million people came together for Great Big Green Week. So I was able to go and get case studies and pitch those to the magazines or into ITV, and it worked really, really well. But it was a very simple approach. We set the goal, we worked on the messaging, we worked on the story, we identified the journalists, and I went out and pitched to them. And again, it exceeded all expectations. Just in terms of media engagement, there was a reach in excess of 60.7 million. And And it's in excess of that because I couldn't get the reach for the ITV segments, of which there were 14. So that was 14 different stories being told, just amazing. And lots of radio broadcasts. So it was really powerful, and it was fully integrated to social media as well. And that's the other really important thing I would like you to consider as well when you're doing your visibility work. How does press, how does social media, how does your marketing, how does it all come together? Maybe even e-newsletter going out. How can it all come together so the same consistent messaging is going out? So that was LinkedIn shot up. That was Instagram and Facebook as well. So it was all fully integrated. So these three actions that I've talked about are key to raising your profile, and they are part of my press program. So I'm going to tell you about this for a minute, and then we will come on to the Q&A. So I hope you got some really good questions for me, actually. Press is a pathway for you to follow to raise your profile. So whether you're an individual, a business owner, part of a business, it's just a really simple step-by-step program or to progress. Oh, I need to have another cup of tea before I say that again. So it's about plan, reach, engage, story, and shine. And again, this is a success path for it. It's a wee bit small, maybe on your screen there, but it's on the web page if you want to go and look at it in more detail there. I'll share that in a wee second. But planning is all about setting your PR goals and creating your visibility roadmap. Again, how does it align to your business? What are you trying to achieve? Getting into that. Reach is about how to understand your audience and connect with them. Your audience is not the whole world. You'll have maybe at the minute you're thinking, oh, I want to help business owners. So we need to help discussing which business owners, small businesses, large businesses, female entrepreneurs, LGBTQ plus community. We start then to get into the detail of that and understand how to connect with them. Engaging then is all about building relationships. So it could be with the media, it could be with clients, it could be with your followers on social media. But again, how do you build up that trust, that credibility, that know and like factor with your target audience that we've previously identified in Reach. And then story is all about telling your story across the channels that you've chosen to use. So it could be one particular social media channel and the media and maybe a blog site, whatever is appropriate for your business, but one consistent message across all channels rather than a scattergun approach of different things going out. And again, that worked really well with Great Big Green Week. We had some core messaging decided fairly early on and everything built out from then. So when we talked to ITV, it was one message. When we talked to politicians, it was one message. When we talked to local papers, it was a similar message as well. So it all came together. And number 5 is shine. And that's about stepping into the spotlight and getting the recognition that you absolutely deserve. So that's where you have the confidence to record the video, do the media interview, whatever it happens to be that you have worked out, having worked through all the different steps. And then it's a cycle. So again, you always iterate your planning. It can always be improved. But once you have this foundational piece in place, you just rinse and repeat. And your visibility will then continue to be raised. So if you feel any of these things, I don't know where to start, I'm making it up, don't want to show off, you're not showing off, you're telling people how good you are, the overwhelm, you're feeling sick, you don't have time for it, then press is really perfect if you want to get that plan in place, get clear on what you're saying, and then just take that action. And just in terms of what's involved, it's step by step, as I've shown you, working with me in a group training scenario that just gives you that confidence to get the visibility and profile that you deserve. So what's in it for you? What's in it for me? I ask myself that a lot when I sign up to these memberships. And I do love a good membership now, but what's in it for you is a clear visibility roadmap, pitch ready PR assets, anything I have, my members are welcome to have it. Just giving you confidence in your messaging, opportunities to connect, a supportive community. It's a purpose-built community, which I'll show you in a wee second, time-saving templates and tools, and just a really sustainable way to stay visible. So again, it's not about doing all the things, it's finding the 1 or 2 things that are really going to serve you in the first instance and getting those done really, really well and seeing the returns, and then we can start to build out the rest. So again, press is a bespoke program. There's a weekly Q&A with myself. I'll be bringing in industry experts in other areas at some point. Access to feedback from myself for your pitches, for your messaging. Obviously, the press 5-step structured framework, 5-stage framework. And again, within that, there's lots of different modules as well. So It's broken down into really easy steps, um, templates, checklists, guides, whatever you need. We did one last week. I put up about how to pitch to podcasts. Again, I've got templates for that with the conversation. People are way out now pitching podcasts. A private community, live Q&A and coaching calls, media, social media masterclasses. It's all planned out. Um, and just to let you know before we come on to the Q&A, to work with me starts at about £249. That's for an hour's one-to-one strategy call. And again, training courses can start on a half day for about £950. But press, I want it to be sustainable and I want to help as many people as possible. So it's currently pitched at £55 per month. There is a 12-month commitment because PR takes time. I can't get you press coverage for next week. Well, I probably could, but it wouldn't be sustainable. What I really want is to see you planning things out and being sustainable for the long term. So again, it takes time. It'll take time to even go through all the trainings. So it's at £55 per month, and I will work with you to plan your PR action, reach your audiences, engage with your audiences, build those relationships, tell your story, the bit I just love doing, and then help you really shine in terms of your visibility. This is the QR code that will take you to the page. I will also send it out to you after this, and I can drop it in the chat in a wee minute when we're doing our Q&A. But yeah, there's more information on that web page as well. And again, just in terms of the cost, £55 per month, 1.83 per day. It's less than the price of a cup of coffee out of a coffee shop. So yeah, it still shocks me the price of coffee at the minute. I don't. Well, I drink tea. Even the price of tea, like for hot water in a tea bag, is beyond me sometimes at the minute. So it's definitely more than 1.83 a day. So for £55 a month, you're getting a whole lot more value. There's 6 week PR courses out there for £2,000. Again, I've seen those as well. And the reason why I don't want to do a 6 week course at this point in time is I want to give you the ongoing support. I don't want you to do 6 weeks and then think, oh, is that it? I'm not sure what to do next. So again, we can have a constant to and fro and going to build your profile over a period of time. Again, to get a press agent or an agency to write your press release starts at about £650, not including sending it. PR support rates could be £175 per hour. And some of the day or half day training courses that I deliver, it could cost you £350 to come onto those. And those are online half day training sessions. So again, there's a lot out there that you could do for your visibility. But again, I'm offering you a reasonably priced option and you'll have access to me and all my tools and templates for the foreseeable future. This is just a wee look at what the hub looks like. I'm really excited about this. It's built on membership.io. So again, when you log in, you get your own access codes. You'll log in. The training is all through videos. There are workbooks. Again, there's a 5-step press challenge to get everybody started. And again, the weekly online call access is there. It's through Zoom and they're all recorded then as well. Welcome to the hub. Your private PR community. There's a discussion formats. There are press updates. And again, any questions, you can just drop them into that and then you can get the chat going. Just between now and Monday night, I would love to give you the opportunity to have a one-to-one 60-minute strategy session to create your PR roadmap, just to help you, get clear action on what you need to be doing, visibility opportunities to focus on first, and just a real fast track to start your press success. So that is available between now and Monday, and that's valued at £249. Do love a good bonus, so I hope that sits well with you there. And again, I love that one-to-one conversation as well, just to really hear what your story is and just to understand where it is you want to get to, and then I can tailor what I have for you appropriately. Again, member success is already happening. This is the fabulous Gail. She has launched the Athena Network. She has media coverage. She's really raising her profile in social media as well. So she's working through press at the minute. So if you are ready to raise your profile, again, that structured process for you to follow, advice and guidance from me every step of the way, all the tools and templates you can ever need, I will get them for you. Your private hub for less than the price of the daily cup of coffee. this is the QR code that you need to be scanning for that. So I appreciate you listening to that. We'll move into our Q&A now. And again, yes, let me look in the chat and see what is there. Oh, brilliant. I'm going to learn a bit more about what it is you do. But let me stop sharing. And who've we got? We've got Deepak, Helen, and D-Stewart left.